Well, the judge overseeing Sean Diddy Combs' case is set to rule whether or not to throw out the charges against the music mogul. During a court hearing just this week, his lawyers argued for an acquittal or a retrial of his two convictions of transportation to engage in prostitution under the Mann Act. Now, Combs, who's been in prison for nearly 13 months, was found guilty by a jury on these charges in July, but was acquitted of racketeering and sex trafficking charges. His team is asking the federal judge to throw out his two charges, which have a maximum sentence of 10 years. Prosecutors argue that it is the public's best interest to keep the jury's verdict. And joining me now is Sam Mirejovsky, co-founder of Sam and Ash Injury Law and host of What's Right show. All right, so as we move through this road, and it has been a long one, how do you think the judge is going to rule on whether or not to move forward with sentencing or throw out the jury convictions?
Well, this judge so far has been tough, and he's a newer federal judge, Arun Subramanian, and he, got appointed, I think, around about a year and a half ago. So he doesn't have a long track record, but so far as Diddy's concerned, he's been ruling pretty aggressively for the prosecution. So I don't expect him to throw the charges out, and I think next Friday he's going to sentence him to some jail time.
I was wondering what you thought that would be, because when we were there covering it and when that verdict came down, I mean, just in those hours and days before, the family was basically planning a 4th of July party. I mean, everybody was thinking that he was going to walk out of there. People were ready for it. This huge crowd came, and then off he went back to the MDC. So as we mentioned, the sentencing is set for this coming Friday. I'll be there covering for our network. So what is your over-under? How many years do you think he'll get? Will he be released on time served? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I look, the defense wants the 13 to 14 months, but the probation rec here is 7.25 years. So there's a big delta there. I could see the judge throwing down 3 years, and Diddy actually serving another 2 years, in prison. I mean, he'll get credit for the time that he was in jail. I strongly doubt that he will walk free on Friday.
Okay, yeah, we'll see how that plays out, and we know it's going to be an absolute circus there, as it is. And we know that he's been busy. Just a small thing that I heard about, that he is giving legal courses, or he's giving, little speeches in the MDC, and he's getting people to listen to him, and he's giving advice. So it's been interesting to watch, that's for sure. Yeah, let's switch to another legal case I wanted to ask you about this week. Ryan Ruth, who tried to kill President Trump at a Florida golf course, as we remember, in 2024, found guilty on all 5 charges, which included attempted assassination of Trump and assaulting of federal officers. And then witnesses in court say that after the verdict was read, Ruth tried to stab himself in the neck with a pen, and then he was taken away in handcuffs, and then later his daughter chased down the van that was taking him to prison. I mean, this was a chaotic scene at the courthouse. What did you make of it all?
It was a complete zoo. I think, more of the usual. The Ruth is insane, or very well near to it. Crazy guy, but he's dangerous. He's absolutely dangerous, and he should never see the light of day. And I think what we saw, Tuesday was more indication of that. So, here these are the 5 charges he got convicted of. 2 of them carry life sentences, and the interesting thing here is whether these sentences will be served concurrently or consecutively. And, there's a lot of jail time here if they're served consecutively, because we're talking 2 life sentences plus 40 years. I think the judge here could end up really throwing the book at him.
Yeah, after the verdict, President Trump posted a Truth Social praising the work from Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Justice Department, while also thanking the Secret Service. And, look, in the midst of the political violence on the rise in this country that we continue to report on day after day, it's getting worse. What does this trial say about how the government is handling serious threats? Because, it's serious, and he's going to get some serious time, as you mentioned.
Well, I'm telling you, it's good they got the conviction. Obviously, this to me was an open and shut case. More of it. I want to see more prosecutions. I want to see more investigations. I think that the entire movement of political violence is primarily right now coming from the left, coming from these radical groups. Antifa needs to be dismantled. Every group that supports Antifa, every billionaire, millionaire donor that gives money to these causes needs to be investigated and, where appropriate, arrested and tried. I mean, this has to end. And it only ends when there is actual punishment that's meted out. And I think that Pam Bondi and the FBI, they have a big task ahead of them. I don't envy them, but it needs to happen.
All right. Well, we'll see where it goes from here. Sam Mirejovsky, thank you very much for joining us today. Great to have you on the show.
Pleasure.